Hello everyone, this is Remlace from 40k Theories. Now, there's nothing more than what we like about Warhammer 40,000 than seeing many people do various cosplays of characters within the Warhammer 40,000 universe. And joining me today is Okkido, who's well known for doing various cosplays of members of the Ordo Hereticus. So firstly, Okkido, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. So, hi everyone.
So, what first got you into Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer 40,000 cosplay?
Well, it's a quite long story because I've been role-playing for more than a decade now, and in the role-playing group I've been in, I had some friends who were playing the tabletop game of Warhammer 40k, and I really liked the story as I got into the whole stuff. And that was the time when I, got to know about the universe of Warhammer 40k, and I was also playing, but not anymore, unfortunately. But I was really interested in the female division of the whole stuff, and of course the Imperium. So of course it is a logical choice to have the Battle Sisters as my favorite. So this was the beginning, and my first Warhammer 40k cosplay was in 2010, and this was the time when we could cosplay characters from Western media in Hungary, because at the beginning we only had a rule that we could choose from Japanese or Korean or Chinese sources, but then this rule was eliminated, so if we wanted to compete we could choose anything, and I thought that was my time when I could, build my own Warhammer 40k costumes.
And how long have you been cosplaying in general for?
Well, it's 10 years now. So my first cosplay was in 2006 in October. So almost 10 years.
Now, why don't you take us through your process of designing a cosplay costume? For example, when you designed your Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor costume.
Mm-hmm. I think I do it the same as every other cosplayers. That first step is collecting as many reference pictures as possible. For the Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor, of course I had only one picture of the character from a rulebook, and that's why I had to use figurines, checking all the angles, all the details. So I think the most important part is, getting into the details with as many references as possible. Then I always start collecting the necessary materials. It takes a while because, the colors, the textures are really important, and I never try to get a mediocre solution, so I always want to get the perfect materials. And of course I always do lots of sketches of the parts of the costume, and sometimes it takes weeks or sometimes months when I actually start working on the costume parts. So after that I usually start with the sewing job, doing the base clothes and all the accessories from fabrics, and then I get to the other parts like the plastics. Nowadays I use lots of thermoplastic materials like Warbler or other like Wonderflex, and of course these are a bit pricey, but I can save so much time using them that I really love these materials. And of course then come the painting and other things. So usually this is the process how I design them.
And what are the general reactions to your cosplays?
I think I'm quite lucky because I've got lots of followers and I always get positive feedback. And of course my page is getting more and more widely known around the world. And in my family, they also like it and they support me. My friends, my parents, they are always very proud of me. So I think I'm lucky.
Yeah, I've noticed you've actually been popping up a lot more amongst the Warhammer 40,000 Facebook pages. A lot of people are sharing your Sisters of Battle cosplays, and the reaction I've seen has genuinely been very positive.
Yeah, I'm really happy for that because sometimes you never know how people like it or not, usually I don't really care about that because, I cosplay for myself, for my own entertainment, and it's also a kind of how I express my fandom. But of course, after a while, you start hearing things about yourself, and it gives me lots of energy to go on and do it, and then to get better and better.
Out of all your cosplay projects that you've undertaken, which have been the most and the least expensive?
Well, I don't really, count money when I do a cosplay, because I think if I sum up everything, it would be so much that I really want to stop it. But I think the least expensive was my very first cosplay. It was Jin from Samurai Champloo. I think that's the funniest and most original anime in the world. And I just modified my Kendo Hakama and Gi just a bit. It was a reversible modification, and it took me 2 days, and it cost me nothing.
And it took you 2 days? Wow, that's quite fast.
Yeah, because I really didn't have to do anything, just, putting some patterns on my Hakama Gi, on my Kendo Gi, and the Hakama was the same, so it was a closet cosplay. It cost me really nothing. And the most expensive, maybe my Trinity Blood cosplay from 2010. It was a huge royal gown. It's like one of the white gowns of Elizabeth I. And I had to buy lots of Swarovski crystals and beads and 12 yards of silk, and I don't know, it was so expensive. It took me a year to do it, and maybe my latest Warhammer 40k cosplay was also quite expensive, the Inquisitor, because of all the Warbler I used for that, more sheets.
Yeah.
And the latest front wig was also very pricey, but I wanted top quality of everything, so you have to pay a price for that.
No, of course. Out of your cosplay projects, which one's been your favourite, personally?
It's a hard question, because every time I'm working on a costume, I feel like, it's my child. And after that, you cannot really choose which child of yours you love the most. But recently, of course, my 40k costumes, the Inquisitor, I think that's the peak of my cosplaying. I did my best. And, it's really hard to get better after that, because, it was also almost a year to work on it, getting my techniques better and better. And I really loved my Mortal Kombat cosplays.
And if you could cosplay anywhere in the world, where would you like to cosplay?
Well, it's a hard question. In Hungary, it's not really easy, because people have strange preconceptions about cosplay, and it's not really widely known, and what in the media is just a distorted picture. But maybe not going too far, in Germany the case is much better, and if you are good enough, you can also make a living from it. So maybe in a part-time job you can do cosplaying professionally, and it is the same in the USA, where you can get a bigger audience. So maybe Germany or the USA.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your convention experiences, if any conventions you've actually appeared at?
In Hungary there are too many conventions, I guess, but I usually go to the bigger ones twice a year, and for a couple of years there has been a really good gamer convention, so I prefer conventions, as I'm also a gamer, more like an anime fan, and my experiences are quite positive, especially at the gamer convention, because people really enjoy when their favorite characters appear in real life, and they can bump into, I don't know, anybody who they were playing with, and they take lots of photos with us, and they always give us really positive feedback, like, wow, how long has it been, when you finished it, and you look awesome. And so mainly the experiences are quite good, and I often take part in competitions where I usually win. I know it's not really humble to say it, but I also enjoy that, they acknowledge my work with, giving me the first prize.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the number of people that come up to you while you're cosplaying who want to compliment you and stuff like that?
Not really. I really like it. Only when they are, too pushy. And when they touch me without asking it, I don't really like that. But I don't think it's overwhelming because I really love sharing experiences with those people. Sometimes they are also beginner cosplayers, they ask for advice. And sometimes they are hardcore fans. It's always really fun, to talk about these things. Unfortunately, in Hungary, Warhammer 40k is not widely known, and I'm always happy when I meet other fans.
Have you had any experiences from other cosplayers or other fans in general that they see you at a convention and see you dressed up as a member of the Imperium and shout things like "Death to the False Emperor"?
Oh yes. Oh yes, and they always ask me that why I always do cosplays from the Imperium, because Chaos is so badass and they look much better, and I don't know, and I always say that heretics, I should burn you right here and right now. So yeah, it's always really funny.
Are there any particular cosplayers you would like to work with in the future?
When it comes to cosplaying, I'm more like a lone wolf. I always have my own visions, what I want to do in a cosplay, and I cannot really work together with others. Of course, it's fun when they separately do their cosplays, and we can get together for a photo shoot. But I don't think that I'm a really cooperative cosplayer partner.
That's fair enough. I suppose it's more suitable for the mindset of an Inquisitor, though, isn't it? Do you have any other future 140k cosplay projects lined up?
Well, yeah, absolutely. In the next few years, I would like to build a Kalidas Temple Assassin. I have been doing really, really hard workout for that, just to have, the right shape, just to say that. And, of course, some more Imperial characters like Sister Famulus or it's hard to say all these things, but there are more plans. First of all, the Kalidas Assassin.
I bet that'll look awesome when it's completed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever consider doing any Xenos cosplay, like for example, like an Eldar or Tau cosplay or anything like that?
Yeah, it may sound heresy, but for a couple of years I have been considering holding Banshee or a Farseer, because if it comes to Xenos, I would only tolerate the Eldar.
What particular advice would you give to any aspiring cosplayers?
It's a really hard question because, I think they should always be aware of their own capacity, not to start with something too complicated, because it always makes them feel, I'm not good enough to do that and I will fail it and I don't know. But if they do it gradually, like starting with a simpler one, they can learn a lot from that, experimenting with it, and then the next one is getting a bit more complicated and they can learn a lot more from that, and they can always choose a bigger and bigger one, how they want it. And I think what every cosplayer should take really, seriously, that choosing the right material, like the same color, the same texture, and if you cannot find it, then just look a bit more for that. You can always order everything online. I really like it because in the town where I live, I have really limited possibilities to getting everything. So I order everything, basically everything online, and sometimes it's even cheaper. So everybody has to look really carefully and then choosing the materials just to have the perfect details.
What's your view on gender swap cosplays? For example, if you did like a gender swapped version of a Space Marine Primarch, for example.
Well, I'm not really a gender swap fan, so that's why I have quite limited possibilities in Warhammer 40k. There aren't so many female characters, but I'm not really into that.
That's fair enough. Would you ever consider doing something that was a bit more obscure in the 40k universe? For example, like an Escher Ganger from Necromunda, for example?
I haven't really considered that, but maybe. Yeah, I really like, when you have special effects on your face, the makeup stuff and all the things, and also modifying your proportions in the body. So it's a really big challenge. So I like that.
Okay. And I believe that pretty much wraps up all the questions we'd like to ask. So thank you to Okkido Cosplay for joining me today. I will post a link in the video description to her Facebook page so you can check out her work. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
And this has been Remnants from 40k Theories, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye.